So I want to say an enormous thank you to everybody who's trusted us, come along, bought a ticket, or come and performed on panels or delivered workshops for us. Just come and been an amazing audience, come and spoken to members of the Imara team, taken photographs, done videos, done the sound stuff for us. It feels like it's been the most amazing day, and what's even more amazing to me is I don't feel I've had to do anything except just come along, waft on every now and again, do a little piece. But I can't believe the organisation that the Imara Business Support has done. It's just been wonderful. So a special big thank you to Kirsty, to Alice, to Annalise, to Catherine, as I think the main people who've organised on this, but also, yeah, woohoo! It feels like it's gone pretty flawlessly, Kirsty, so well done you. Quite an emotional day as well, and I think one of the things that's been most amazing is our participation group. Their contributions, their poise, their maturity, their confidence, and their wisdom, which has been evidenced on every single panel. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to be at Izzy's workshop, but I've previously done that workshop with Izzy, and I know how brilliant it is. And I think for me that just, it's the icing on the cake. Because, if anything, that's what I would have most wanted at this conference, is that you as a group were really visible and we've heard your voices. But I think it's also a sign of, well, it's interesting seeing the maturity across your growth, and I can see how much you've benefited from the education workshops and doing all that work together. But also, I think for us as an organisation, it feels like here we are, 15 years on. We started off with 2 of us founding Imara, and we have a team of nearly 40 practitioners and business support. And to deliver a first conference like this, where I feel like we've just absolutely smashed it, feels like a sign of a mature organisation, and one that we have grown. We've had our hiccups along the way. But we, as you will have been hearing from some of the panels, we are also at a point where funding is in crisis, I would say, in terms of it's becoming so difficult to get grant funding. And we are poised with some uncertainty about what's our funding going to be after March 2026, which is in 4 months' time. So I think we need to move into kind of an area of fighting for our life, really. So I also think that hearing the panels and being involved with conversations throughout the day, it's also a sign of really maturing relationships between partners. Emma Harewood, who has a lot of experience across the country and internationally, understanding kind of the Barnahus model, the House of the Child, where it's a big multidisciplinary team where everybody is there on behalf of the child and the family. And she was describing how she feels in Nottinghamshire. She can see actually lots of the elements are in place. We don't have a house, but we have all those elements in place. So it feels like what we now need, I was thinking it's almost like we've got 2 sides of the bridge really well, they're getting really well established. But if we don't find that bit to cross over in the middle, and it does come down to funding, because our charities we haven't got a money tree or anything, so it does require people to say, I want to invest in that service because it looks like it should be getting a lot more money than it is getting because the demand is there. So why aren't we doing that? And I know that's a question we need to ask of the people in power. I had lots of high hopes for this government. I feel I'm being let down by them, but we'll see what they come up with. But it's like we need some props in there so that we can bridge that last bit to say, right, we've really got a mature, functioning service for children affected by sexual abuse and domestic abuse, and it's here in Nottinghamshire. and it feels like we're so close to it, let's not waste it. So if any of you, one of the things that we're doing is we're going to start up a crowdfunder. I'm seeing it as my legacy crowdfunder because I'm planning to be stepping down from my role as CEO in the next few months. So that's something that is coming along in the near future. So, but also if you know of anybody you think we could go and rattle at their door, whether that's big corporates in Nottinghamshire, anybody you think, I think they might be interested in funding you or supporting us in other ways. I think we're going to need that support over the next year. And we've also got some Christmas funding events happening too. So, a plea to everybody. It's not for you directly necessarily, but any organisations or anywhere you think we might be able to get some funding, please let us know. I think that's. I have got 10 minutes to talk, but I'm not sure that I need it because it feels like there's been so many voices here today, and I feel like I'm quite keen that those voices are still reverberating for all of you. I do want to say a particular thank you to Patrick and his performance. It was incredibly powerful and moving. And I know that there's been some conversations from people in the audience with Patrick who've obviously felt able to come and talk to him, and because of his openness and what he's brought. And I said to Patrick, you talked about how he, no, I'm trying to get this right. What I noticed when I watched Patrick's film is it just really grew my understanding of so many aspects of the child's experience. And that's the thing that we constantly have to start listening to is children's experience, their voices, because without that, we're heading off in the wrong direction. And what we can then provide, which is what we say to children coming to Imara, you are the experts on you. We have some expertise in understanding trauma and how it affects children, so we might be able to kind of point out some of the things that we can say, that's trauma, it's a natural response. And great having Chris Tuck on one of the panels with her experience and her voice as well, having been one of the members of the ICSA, so the panel for investigating child sexual abuse. And certainly her voice was very much saying that, please all write to your MPs saying, why have they not acted on any of the recommendations? There were 20 recommendations, and none of those have been yet acted on in the 3 years since the ICSA report came out. So we're great at doing lots of reviews and reports, aren't we? Oh, yes, we could do another one of those. How about that? But what about putting those recommendations into action? That's what's needed, and we know it is, and we can be a powerful voice, I think, coming together as a community like this. So let's let our voices ring out in the same way that Patrick's voice rings out at the performances that he does. Thank you, Patrick. I'm sure I've forgotten people. I do want to make sure all the people on the panel, I've just been so impressed with how you've worked together before you came to the conference, but also today. It's been fantastic seeing the recognition, the understanding of sharing that you've done. And then to the rest of the Imara team who've come along and helped out, and to all our volunteers who've been here today. We've been inundated with a fantastic amount of volunteers, and I hope you've felt it's been a valuable day supporting us as volunteers as well. So I'd just like to welcome Izzy to the stage to read us her poem. Do you want to go on the stage? Yeah, come on.
Hi everyone, I'm Izzy. I'm going to read a poem called Sea Glass. So sea glass is made from glass, normally a bottle that is carved by the waves into tiny small pieces of coloured glass and picked as a special find. To me, it's a lot more than that. It's me. This might sound odd, but not until you know my story. I was 13 when I first got sexually assaulted, then again at 14, and again at 19, and raped at 15. You may think I shouldn't have put myself in that situation, that somehow it was my fault and it kept happening to me. I thought the same until I spoke to my therapist at Imara. It wasn't me at all. I put precautions that sadly didn't affect the outcome. I started off with a glass bottle with all the sparkles and bubbles inside, and then childhood trauma got the best of me. I was empty, nothing that anyone wanted. When I turned 13, that's when I cracked so sharp that your fingers will bleed from running your hands along it. At 15, I broke, and 15, I broke. The chips and cracks were heightened now into thousands of million pieces, cracked, chucked away into the sea, a deep unknown place, drowning, but yet still there. I was 19. The waves were big, the water bruised my skin, the salt burnt and bruised against my broken pieces until finally I was no longer sharp. My edges were no longer sharp. I floated into the waves, letting them hit me or just riding and rolling along with them. I ended up on shore. I took action. I helped myself up, and I felt like more broken pieces scattered on many different beaches. This is where I began my adventure. This is where the small spies, special objects. I wasn't a full bottle anymore. Maybe I was never meant to be. Now I'm something more. Thank you. My next poem is called Zebra. It's also called 54321. This is based off the Viv Gordon, who you heard today, her ABC to CSA, the zebra card. It's feeling like a zebra in a world full of giraffes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here I come. A phrase so light, so fun. My neck was so long, so free, I could see above the highest tree. The skin golden as can be, and spots of brown glided over me. Who would I become? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who would I become? I got told I could reach to the sun. Stand tall, with pride, a giraffe like me doesn't run or hide, my mama says as I close my eyes. As the night dried down to a lion, it had just begun. The whispering breeze that chased the leaves, his eyes fell upon me. A young giraffe standing tall in lull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's when it begun. I was left on my knees, begging, please, nature have mercy on me. The jagged lines was writing on my skin, sinking deep within. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I could hear everything. I could hear every grain of sand playing like a grass band, and I was its only fan. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone was gone. A place to hide was the only way I could survive. Alone was my home. Roaming through places of water was my favourite pastime. A glimmer caught my eye. Was that my reflection? No, it couldn't be. It doesn't have the same lines as me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A dazzle it become. A smile fell upon my cheeks, not one I haven't seen before, but one that got lost in the lion's roar. Just like me, scars of stories of braveries and victories. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That dazzle that shined, that dazzle was mine. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
So if we can welcome the Rise Choir.
So we're starting off with something called the reindeer herding song. Okay, and you'll see why I'm on my own at the moment. This is from the Sami people of Finland. Ole, le, loera. Zuma, Zuma, hey, Zuma, 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 hey, Zuma, 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 hey, Zuma, 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 hey.